If you're looking to buy a new truck in 2025, the reality is they're expensive as fuck. That being said, we have done all the research and are proud to present you with what we believe to be the most versatile truck on the market, the 2025 GMC Sierra Denali. My name's Nate with iGM Auto, and let's start off by talking about the powertrain. This 2025 Sierra 1500 is powered by the 3-liter turbocharged Duramax diesel engine, which puts out 305 horsepower and 495 pound-feet of torque. The Duramax engine has been a long-standing component for the GMC Sierras in their 1500 lines. This specific Duramax has recently been upgraded to have 10% more power than previous years, and because of that, it allows the towing capacity to be boosted to 13,200 pounds based on how this truck is configured. Moving down the powertrain, we're paired up with a 10-speed automatic transmission, which was developed in partnership with Ford and can be found on a couple of their different vehicles such as the Raptor. Now, the best part about this powertrain is that 10-speed transmission paired with the diesel engine. Because of how many different gears this thing can shift through, you always have torque readily available for you, no matter what situation you're in. The rear differential is geared to a 3.23 ratio, which means the drive shaft has to turn 3.23 times in order for the rear tires to spin one full rotation. Now, previously, when we were working with 3-speed manual 3-on-the-tree transmissions, that gear ratio played a big part in the power output of a truck and played into its towing capacity. That being said, it's almost irrelevant now that we have equipment such as the 10-speed transmission. Now, when talking about this being the most versatile truck on the market for 2025, we have to throw in fuel economy. Normally, when you think of a diesel truck, you think of, exhaust fumes coming out, burning coal, and moving on. But this Duramax diesel paired with the 10-speed transmission can actually get me up to 30 miles per gallon on the freeway, and I average about 25 on the city. Now, General Motors have different numbers that they put out. This is just what I've experienced over the first 5,000 miles we've put on the truck. Not only does the truck come off the factory line performing great in its stock form, but it also looks great. We have the 22-inch standard wheels on the Denali trim, and we've got chrome accents all around the truck, on the front working its way to the back. In addition, we have standard from the factory side steps that extend with opening the doors or pushing the button. And as we move around to the back of the truck, one of my favorite features is we have the auto drop tailgate with a push of a button on the key fob or a push of the button inside. But the tailgate continues to get even better because we have General Motors multi-flex tailgate, which can be configured in a variety of ways, making hauling items way easier and safer without straps, or you can even use it as a step to get into the back of your truck. Now, within the bed of the truck, we have a lot of technology packed into it. Some of the most notable features being a 120-volt outlet, lights all around and throughout the bed, a standard spray and bed liner keeping all that area safe, and tons of tie downs all throughout the bed, making whatever you're hauling or strapping down super easy to get situated and safe. From tailgate to towing, let's talk about what this GMC Sierra can do. Now, we already mentioned that it can tow up to 13,200 pounds, but what kind of equipment do we have back here? We have our standard hitch mount, but right here, we have our 7-plug connector, which typically will require an adapter to fit most light-duty trailers, especially from U-Haul. So that being said, I keep this adapter in the back of the truck, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Above their plug, we have these 2 plugs, which feed in cameras for the left and right side of different trailers you use, which will also connect to the camera system in the truck. If you want to learn more about that, check out our towing capabilities video we did where we put Super Cruise to the test. And lastly, right here on the right, we have this lock. Now, it took us a little while to figure out what it was, but it actually is the lock to the spare tire mounted underneath the truck. The reason General Motors put it up here is because that way, if you're going over any passes or icy conditions, the lock's gonna have a cover over it, so it won't freeze up and you can easily access it in case you need to change your tire. Moving on to the interior, this is where this truck really starts to shine because it stops feeling like a truck. With all the tech and safety features packed in here, it really feels like you're driving a luxury sedan or SUV. First, let's talk about some of the features that can be found within the infotainment system that's new for 2023 and newer General Motors trucks. The screen overall is way larger than it used to be and a lot more integrated into the dash, giving it a super sleek look that you didn't normally find before. In addition, we have Apple CarPlay standard in all trucks, as well as an integrated Google Assistant. So for you iPhone users, you can totally rock Apple CarPlay as usual, and it interfaces and works great. Your Apple Maps connects with your heads-up display. And for Google users or Android users, you get just a little bit more because you have Google Assistant built in, and you can do things like say, "Hey Google, what's the weather today?"
Today in Artendale, it'll be cloudy, with a forecasted high of 59 and a low of 46. Right now, it's 55 degrees and cloudy.
In addition to Apple CarPlay and integrated systems, one of my personal favorite features of this truck is the camera system. There's a big camera icon right on the screen, which will open up a variety of angles, and at any point while driving, you can turn on or off any camera to look around you. So the camera is built into the side view mirrors, the front, the back, the bed, the hitch. All of those cameras are really at your fingertips no matter what you're doing, whether you're trying to park, drive down the freeway and check your payload, or wanting to check the hitch connection. In addition to that, one of my favorite features about the camera systems is you can actually zoom in. So rather than just having a wide angle look, you can get a closer look at your bed or your hitch or whatever you're trying to find. In addition to all the technology packed into the infotainment system, that technology continues to percolate throughout the safety features. One of the most notable being Super Cruise equipped on this truck. You can tell it has Super Cruise because of this LED piano glass bar on the steering wheel and the safety monitor on the steering column. Now, if you want to learn more about Super Cruise, check out our Super Cruise specific video on our channel. But for those of you who haven't heard of it before, it's essentially a level 2 self-driving for General Motors trucks, and it was rated by Motor Trend as one of the most comprehensive systems on the marketplace in 2025. Now, because this truck is equipped with Super Cruise, it also includes a complimentary OnStar subscription, which not only gives you access to all the roads for self-driving, but it also gives you access to free Wi-Fi throughout the truck. Now, that really plays a big role in making this one of the most versatile trucks on the market, because whether you're taking family on a road trip and looking for them to be entertained, or you're trying to use it as a work truck and need to check your emails or get new notifications, you're always gonna have that connection when you need it most. Now, outside of the safety and infotainment features within the truck, the interior of the truck is one of the best. A large portion of that is because of the quality materials GM used throughout it. Not only will you find leather, but you'll find wood and some premium materials such as metal for the Bose sound system. In addition to the premium materials, the seats are naturally super comfy. I don't know if it's their width or their shape, but you can configure them to whichever position is most comfortable for you, and it really works. I recently took this on about 1,500 mile trip down, all the way essentially to Central Oregon, back up all in one day, and spent probably 16 hours in the car. And overall, didn't have any sort of driver fatigue after that trip. In addition to that, the floor mats in this truck are super well thought out and well curated by General Motors. They're a blend of all-weather rubber floor mats and carpeted floor mats. So you can pull the carpet in and out based on what you're going to be doing with the truck or the time of year. In addition to well thought out features such as the floor mats, General Motors has also included wireless charging and plenty of cup holders, making everything just conveniently located. Now, moving from the front seat onto the back seat, one of my favorite features is all the hidden storage General Motors worked into this truck. Not only is the back seat really large, and me as someone who's 6'3", can sit with plenty of legroom and be very comfortable, but there's a ton of hidden storage underneath the seats right here to store all the things that you need in a truck but don't know where to put. I keep my trailering adapters, my hitch, and a couple other tools, jacks, and cables that I may need. Lastly, right here behind each of the rear seats, you have this kind of secret hidden compartment. So for me, I keep my tow straps in here, but it's great to have for whatever you may need. Now, we've covered a lot of the technical options and what this truck came off of the factory with, but I want to share with you guys why we believe this to be the most versatile truck on the marketplace. For me personally, I drive about 50,000 miles a year, which is a lot. So when looking for a truck or a car, my three biggest factors and boxes I needed to check were fuel economy, functionality, and technology features. And this truck checked all those boxes. First, let's talk about fuel economy. The fact that I'm able to get 25 to 30 miles per gallon consistently for a vehicle of this size was a really big player, all thanks to the Duramax diesel engine. Second was the functionality, being able to haul camera equipment, haul gear. I'm currently redoing the yard at my house. Be able to haul all that stuff without compromising that fuel economy was another big factor, making it the most versatile truck. And lastly was the technology features. I mean, the truck pretty much drives itself with its Super Cruise package that it has. And you pair that with CarPlay and all the other safety items, it's really hard to beat, you guys. Overall, when I was looking for different options, I kept bouncing back between Toyota Tundra, Dodge Ram 1500, and Silverado, but ultimately it was the Sierra that had all the options that I needed to check those boxes and ultimately provide a great daily driver that can do all the things that a truck would need to do. While we've only scratched the surface for what this truck can do and all of its different features, please drop a comment below if you have any questions, or let us know what you'd like to see next so we can do a deep dive video for you guys. And if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on that bell notification for when our next video comes out.